my name's Vendijar and welcome to my video. So today I kind of just want to go over, or I guess the importance of planning really, because at the moment I'm making a manga and while now I've got the whole thing planned out and I've started doing the pages, I kind of learned the hard way that, you know, you need to plan, plan your things out, because when I first started it was a complete mess. It was completely different and I just wasted so much time just on nothing, or things that I had to scrap just because of the simple fact that I didn't plan. So even if you think you don't need to plan, you've got it here, you don't. You need to plan or you'll learn the hard way like I did and you'll have to scrap like 20 pages that you've already done. So the first iteration of this story, when I started doing it, I planned out a little. It was mainly just mainly scenes that I wanted to happen, characters that I know what they wanted to do. I had a vague idea, but it wasn't very detailed at all. I didn't really have any clear direction from like chapter to chapter what I'd want for my story, where I wanted to go, how I wanted to progress. So that was bad. So for the first one, I stuck to more of a Western style comic, and I did a few little storyboards after the plans for like the first chapter, but I only got, I think, about 2 or 3 like pages in to the final pages, and then I decided that, you know, I this isn't good. I need to plan more out. I need to do something different, because part of the reason was that I thought it might be also harder to market. As you know, I don't have a very big following, not on Instagram, not on like TikTok or in here or anything, so it'll be harder to get eyes on my work. So that's when I decided I could try doing a webtoon instead. So that's iteration number 2. And here, again, with the planning beforehand, before drawing it, there wasn't much going on. There wasn't. I had ideas for like the first few chapters that I thought I could do, or episodes, whatever they call them. So I started with the first episode. I did my storyboards and I started doing the final thing. So I'll put them all up here. I finished like the first episode. It wasn't very long. But when I finished that one, I realized I don't really gel with the webtoon format. So I didn't really want to carry it on further. Also, I've never been a person who reads webtoons. It's just it's kind of a new thing to me that I discovered. So I wanted to try it out, but in the end I decided that, you know, it's not for me. Not for me. So then we go on to iteration number 3. And for this one, I did come to a realization that with the format, I am, instead of webtoon, instead of Western style comics, I'm gonna just do a manga. Because, you know, I realized manga, that's the way that I like to consume my stories. That's my favorite way to do it, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, drawings. I don't really know why it took me so long to come to that conclusion, but here we are, we're finally there. So I did a little bit more planning with this one, but the problem is, like, again, so because I fleshed out just a little, maybe for like the first few chapters, but I didn't go much further, which was the problem. That's the big problem here. Right? I wanted to jump to the final thing and skip all the planning, which is not a good idea, not a good start. So, well, I did that. And then, again, storyboards. And I did start making the final pages for the first chapter. I did end up getting quite a few pages in through the first chapter. I think I did like 20 or so, somewhere around there. I'll show them. And well, it was alright. As I was doing it, as I was getting to the end, I kind of thought to myself, well, how am I going to want every chapter to progress so the story goes along, so, you know, the pacing's alright? How will I know that? And that's when I came to the conclusion that I don't know that. I don't know where I wanted to go. So that's when I had to just stop and be honest with myself and really just take a step back and plan the whole story out. Because I know this story, it's not something endless, you know. I know I want this to have a beginning, middle and end. I started off again on my iPad just doing I got a post-it note app and just tried doing it on there. But I found that it was quite hard to visualize it. So that's when I just took it off from technology and I just used post-it notes on my wall. It's right over here, still there, still sticking on. I planned the whole thing out, all the story it's out. So I've got it down. And when I started properly planning, I think I got it all figured out in about a week or so. Since, you know, there were bits I know I want to include and I know what I want to happen, like for the major plot points. So I kind of just had to work around it, tie things in, add more things in, more detail. So I wasn't starting off from completely nothing. The stories kind of stayed pretty much, like the general idea of it stayed quite the same throughout all iterations of it, as I tried earlier. I think, but it definitely is so much better than it was, so much better. Just because, you know, I know what's going to happen later on, I know some of the details, so I can tie things in from earlier on. I can, you know, foreshadow things. So it is so much better. Definitely plan it. I don't care what you say, plan it in a way that works for you. What worked for me is post-it notes on a wall. Because, you know, then also I can easily visualize how far events happen from each other. So then I can see what areas I think need more, just because it feels a bit empty, there's nothing happening, or, you know, nothing to tie the whole thing together. So it was a lot easier to do that when just seeing it in front of me and I can move things around. So that's what I did, and when I got that done, I was happy with it, you know. I was happy it's finally done. I finally figured it out. And from then on comes the final, I promise you this time, the final iteration of my story. So the final one, here we go. So again, started with storyboarding stuff out. And I just, after that, because I knew what was happening in the story, it was then so much easier to figure out the storyboards for the pages, how I want things to happen, when I want things to happen, you know. So after the plans, I just started doing the final thing. Yeah. And at the moment, I'm nearly done with chapter 1. I think I've got about two spreads to do, and then chapter 1 is done. So I'm glad about that. And, you know, I finally stuck to a format. I finally like it. So, you know, I'll be able to stick to it, get it done. Just a matter of drawing it all out. What was I gonna say? Can't fucking remember. What was I gonna say? Yeah, overall, the whole story, it hasn't changed very much. I know at first I did have a female protagonist, but I changed it. I changed to a guy because I just wanted to draw guys. That's basically the only reason why. At first I didn't really plan the story out that much further. So it was really the characters that kind of stayed the same. The rest of everything happening around it has changed quite a bit from my first ideas. But yeah, it's not going to be a happy story. I don't think I could do a happy story. But that's alright. That's how I like it. And hopefully I'll be able to get through quite a few chapters this year. That's my goal, at least, to really work on it. Yeah, because I don't know if you saw the other video that I posted a few days ago. I kind of went over more the traditional art that I was doing, and I really like doing the traditional arts, like with the oil paintings. I still quite would like to do some bigger oil paintings, like the ones I showed in that video. But I just realized what I really want to do is tell a story, so I kind of did a big pivot. And yeah, I'm doing a manga now. It's what I think I get more satisfaction from doing this, from getting this out. Because I've thought about it for quite a while, so it's nice being able to know that I'm working on the final thing. And I'm trying to not let perfectionism hold me back. Because when I first started, I thought, well, maybe I should just wait a little while till I start doing the final thing, till I'm, you know, better at drawing, but more comfortable with, you know, working even on the iPad, because I hadn't done digital art before really, so all that kind of took time to get used to. But I just thought to myself, it's better if I start now, because I'll only improve along the way, and if I don't do it, then how am I gonna improve? And, you know, just storyboarding, planning out the chapters, how is that gonna happen without doing it? So I'm doing it now. Probably share some more as it develops. I'll probably share some more of it and just, yeah, see how it's going. And it'll be nice if people could look at it, read it when it is out, when I start posting it at some point, hopefully later on this year. I hope so, because I do want to get a few chapters done so I can upload regularly, but I don't know how that will go, because they do take me quite a long time. So I'll see how much I can get done. So yeah, that's all I really want to say. The importance of planning, plan everything out, or at least try in a way that works for you, you know. So yeah, thank you for watching.